I was thinking, I'm driving on the way home, and I was thinking about how I started this whole process of, after chiropractic school, is trying to figure out how to fix spines, and how can I fix it? Just tell me how to fix it. That's what I used to say to Brooks. And I've come to a place, after all my, my travels, as I come to a place, and that there is no algorithm. There are relationships, and the deeper we, get into those relationships, the better we are. So, we have an anatomy and a physiology that says we're a spring. That's us in its purest state. But, that system gets damaged. And that system gets damaged and under gravity with zillion traumas, the innate ability of everybody's nervous system to respond. And if you mix that in with the short tension and gravity, that human person of their trauma and their energetic ability has to fight with muscle activation and nervous system activation, has to fight that. You mix that all together, and guess what you get? You get that every single patient is different. Every single patient is not going to respond the same. So where does that leave us? That doesn't leave us in a place that goes, oh, we just can't fix everybody. No, it leaves us in a place that says, hey, we need to understand how this thing works better and how it responds better. And if we could pay attention to that and understand that, guess what? We'll start doing a better job. Okay, so that's what I try to work on every single day. So today I had two patients, both of them with the same postural listing, both of them with R's from top to bottom. Okay, and I looked at one of them, the first one of the day, and I said, you know what? I'm not going to push that down on the left side and see how healthy that spring is. That person has had complete failure on that left side, and I'm not going to push it down any further. So what did I do? I got up on the right side, and boom, it opened, and it moved right up the center, and it was just a grand slam, and I said, hey, I'm the king of the mountain. So a couple patients later, I had that same scenario. All right, and I said, guess what? I'm going to do this again. And I've done this before. It's not like I just did this today, okay? I do this on a regular basis. Is because I want to see, do they need to be pushed up? Do they need to be pushed down because they got great spring health? Or sometimes do they need one and sometimes they need the other, and sometimes it's just the way it is, okay? So I'm trying to find that perfect key all the time for that day. I try to live in that present moment. Okay, not on what yesterday was, not on what the future will be, but right now, how's that person responding based on, did they eat garbage for breakfast, or did they have, a phenomenal, healthy meal? Okay, all that stuff contributes to what they're going to receive. So on that second person, I went ahead and I said, you know what, I'm just going to pop them up. And they were at right 20 pounds, and whatever the rotation was, a 7 and 8, it went to right 30. Okay, and it looked like the rotation was coming out. So I said, you know what? I'm going to get on that thing again and just see if I miss something, which I rarely do. I mean, I don't mean that I rarely miss something. It says rarely I get back up on it. Okay, is because I make a decision based on what I just did. So anyway, I decided to go back in there and I went after it, and guess what happened? It freaking went out even further. So I turned him over because I had no option. Okay, that's not really true. It's because I understood my option, not because I had no option. Because if this was me 10 years ago when I was doing something else, I just would have kept laying up on the vector. That's not what I do now. Is that I understand that man and woman and our patients are part spring and they're part building. And when I got on the left side and I bent that spring down where that first person it had failed, guess what? On this person, it bounced them right up to right 4. All right, and the rotation cleared out nicely. I think it went to like a 3 and a 4. It was good enough, okay? And I was so happy. So I learned something today, and that's what I want to share with you. And that is that every single person is a mystery. And we have to make a very special key for that day and that moment so we can help them as well as possible. And that's what we're made to do. And that will only happen if one thing happens. And that is that we step forward and say, hey, we don't know enough and we just need to understand a little more. And then guess what gets served up? Universal intelligence serves us up, man. Because we're willing to ask questions, because we're willing to be vulnerable, because we're willing to stay in that present moment and be okay with who we are. You know, it's so simple. It just takes the stress away. And that's why, you know, I feel like I'm great at what I do, is because every day I give my most, and I give myself energetically without force, and I connect with that patient. And it's through that understanding and through seeing how innate intelligence reacts with patients is we'll perpetuate this. And the biomechanics to me are full circle now because of that. The biomechanics is we get to watch spring and building behave mixed in with the energy, gravity, the short tension, and you know, how much trouble that person's in. We get to watch that every single day. We watch us ourselves make educated decisions based on relationships, not based on you know, because we think we should push some bone there. But we have really advanced the cause. Okay, so tomorrow when you go to work, realize that you rule the roost, okay? And you're trying to help that patient because you understand the relationships, you understand that postural listing, okay? And then tomorrow, guess what else we get to work on? Is we get to work on how that piezoform connects, and that's the place where we are, okay? So let's step away from the biomechanics, okay? And keep working at that, but step away and really step on delivering the goods now. Okay, and that's we start tomorrow. All right, have a great night.